theory in a nutshell, scale degrees. And I am happy to show off my new logo. Now, every note in a scale has a name, and we call those notes in a scale a degree. So the first note or degree in a scale is called the tonic. The first three that we generally learn is tonic, subdominant, and dominant. So the first degree of the scale, the first note of a scale, for example, C major would be C. And then that's called the tonic. The fourth degree, now you can use your hands because that's really helpful. C, D, E, F. The fourth degree, F, would be called the subdominant. And C, D, E, F, G, G would be the dominant. And after that, after the first few levels of theory, you tend to learn you do learn all of the other words for all the other degrees of the scale. Now, this one is important. The seventh degree of a scale is a leading tone. And that means that it's a half step away from the tonic. Now, I talk about this in another video, but if it's not raised in a minor melodic scale descending or natural minor scale, then it's called a subtonic. If you haven't come across that yet, just kind of keep that in your mind. And so generally the seventh note of a scale, the seventh degree of a scale, is a leading tone, but sometimes it's a subtonic when it's not raised in a minor type scale. Okay, so all these words, tonic, supertonic, mediant, subdominant, you have to know them all in the end, but in the beginning we usually start with tonic, subdominant, dominant. Now, this submediant and mediant thing tends to drive people crazy because they're thinking, well, okay, if the subdominant's the one right before the dominant, why isn't the submediant the one right before the mediant? Well, there's an answer for that. Subdominant's not called subdominant because it's below the dominant. Okay, so I'm going to explain that to you, and usually when I explain that, people go, oh, okay, I get it. So if it doesn't make sense to you, maybe come back to it and think about it again. But here I've got essentially the C major scale. Here's our tonic right here. Now if I count up, other C's not showing. If I count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the fifth degree of the scale, we get to G. Okay, so that's a fifth above, the dominant above. Dominant meaning the fifth note. But if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going down, it's the F. Right? So from that C, is if it was on top of a hill or something like that, and you're going up and down a hill with your scale, the one the fifth below the tonic is called the subdominant, because it's the dominant below the tonic. Does that make any sense? So there's your F right there. It's a subdominant. So in keeping with that, if we're going 1, 2, 3 for the dominant, for the mediant, which is E, mediant, then 1, 2, 3, that A becomes the submediant. It's the mediant below the C. And there is your submediant, which is the sixth degree. 6 submediant. Okay? That's how that works. That's why they're called that. Now, remember, tonic, subdominant, and dominant you learn first, then you learn the rest of them. Now, just for those of you who've not come across these before, I have a little chart for you. So, for example, in the scale of C major, C is a tonic. And if you use your fingers, C, D, E, F, you'll find F is the subdominant. C, D, E, F, G, G is the dominant. B flat major, well, B, tonic, B, C, D, E, subdominant. Now remember, if these notes have any flats or sharps that are involved in the key signature, you have to make sure it's that proper note. It's not an E, it's an E flat, because E flat isn't B flat major. B flat major has 2 flats. And B, C, D, E, F, F is your dominant. Now, here's the D major scale, so you can see it yourself. The tonic is 1, first note, so the tonic is a D. 1, 2, 3, 4, subdominant is a G. Is it sharp or anything? Nope, because we only have 2 sharps. So our subdominant is a G. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, our dominant is the A. I hope this helped.